Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Silvia, as the Prime Minister from the government side of the House would like to deliver my speech about today's motion, which is this House would disallow the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes to serve on national sports teams. Firstly, I will explain what it means by instantaneously naturalizing. It means that it's a process of granting a foreigner citizenship of a country faster than the usual process. So this motion means that we will instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes to serve on our national sports teams without really complicated guaranteeing of national citizenship. So what is the problem exactly in this motion? The problem is the government used this system to increase the achievement of the national sports team, but they are forgetting the main aspects of a fair sport, which is such like training the locals, local talent, and also our local pride. So what would I like to achieve in this motion today is we would like to achieve a long-term achievement rather than using this system which is do not have a long-term achievement. We would like to achieve long-term achievement because when a foreign athlete is playing in our national sports team, we can only gain this achievement while that foreign athletes is there. But if they are already old or cannot play anymore, they do not have the skill to play and to support our national sports team anymore. And it is not guaranteed for them to teach their skills into our national sport athletes. So it is better for us to make a long-term achievement through training our local athletes. So there are four of my points of my argument here today. Firstly is why the pride of the local is not the same anymore. Secondly is how it is gonna affect the sport industry in the future. And the third one is it is creating a bad assumption about our national sports team. And the fourth one is how will we get that long-term impact that I mentioned in the goals. Okay, so let's jump right into the first one. Why the pride of the locals is not the same anymore. So if we are going to see what happens right now is there are a lot of foreign athletes that is in our national sports team because they are from foreign country, and when they win a competition, the feeling of achievement is not the same, because if we imagine if there are the national sports team consists of all local athletes, then the local area that they are from will also be proud of them, will also get that achievement and that feeling of winning in world competition. But if we are going to take foreign athletes into our national sports team, then that feeling will not be the same anymore because they are representing another country rather than our country. They are just paid to be playing in our national sports team. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, it is not the same feeling anymore. And second, how it's gonna affect the sport industry in the future. Like I said earlier that these foreign athletes did not bring a sustainable achievement and sustainable skills for our local athletes. So if a foreign athlete is paid to play in our national sports team, they will only play there for a short period of time in the contract, of course. But if we can create a system of training and recognizing our local athletes to play in our national sports team, we would not be taking foreign athletes anymore, ladies and gentlemen. And if the foreign athlete is already incapable or is already out of contract, then what should we do? Because they did not teach anything into our local athletes. So our local athletes will be back to the before they are when the foreign athletes come, right? It is how the foreign athletes effect is only temporary rather than if we are going to train our local athletes to have that skill, to get that skill to win in the national competition. And the third one is by using this, by allowing the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes, ladies and gentlemen, we are creating a bad assumption about us. There are two bad assumptions that is mainly explain in today's debate, which is, firstly, it will make our government seems incapable of training our athletes. Why? Because it makes us seem that we are only winning because there are foreign athletes in our country, and our local athletes' talent is not being seen by the world, and it will create assumption that our government is not capable of training our athletes because we are not really caring about them, and foreign athlete is the one reason that we are winning. So this is clearly create a bad assumption about our government. And also, it will create assumptions of sports is only about winning a competition, when in the first place, sport is used to create a relationship between people, between country, and to build a harmonized sport and a fair sport between the world, ladies and gentlemen. But with this allowing of the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes, it makes sports only seem to be about winning, that they are willing to pay another person from another country just to win a competition, rather than using their locals to build a relationship between the other national sport teams, ladies and gentlemen. So sports is not really about winning and winning only, but it's about to create a relationship. But if we are allowing the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes, then it will make that assumption get bigger and bigger. And the fourth one is, how will we get the long-term impact from training our local athletes and disallowing the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes? There are two ways. First is we hire a coach from another country into our country to train our national sports team. Of course, the coach from another country has a lot of achievement and has a lot of experience, of course, so that they can train our locals athlete to be better, just like when the foreign athlete is still there. And then we can send also our national teams to practice in abroad, so that they can do sparring and they can do practice with other teams, other national team sport in abroad, ladies and gentlemen. And this is much more convenient rather than instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes, ladies and gentlemen. It will create a skill and long-term achievement in our country, because our local athletes are learning from them. They are learning the skills. They are going to teach it to the next generation, of course. But if the foreign athletes, they are not guaranteed to teach that skills, because they are paid to play, not to teach that skills. And also by disallowing the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes, it will increase the chance of local athletes to get into national sports team, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why I really support this motion. Thank you.
Lewat 20 detik ya.